So there's plenty of good reason to be excited about today's real estate market.
Santa's coming to town!
Santa! Oh my God!
Well, no, it's not that Santa is coming, but inventory is coming. And it wasn't that long ago that our inventory levels were at all-time lows, and currently we're actually seeing an increasing trend since the beginning of this year. Now, I'll say the spoiler alert is that our current level of inventory is now 47% higher than this time last year. So we'll take a look at supply and demand and just what it means if you are buying or selling in our local market. Now, before I go any further, I'm Harold Powell, a local real estate agent serving Ventura and the surrounding communities. And if you like my videos and want to stay up to date on all things real estate for the Ventura area, well, then I suggest hitting the subscribe, like, and bell icon to be notified of future content. Now, I will mention at this point that the Fed seems to be content keeping rates paused for now. So mortgage rates will likely continue to hover between high 6 and low 7% range. Now, while that may keep some buyers and sellers on the sidelines, there still appears to be plenty of market participants going forward. So let's dive into the number of new listings coming on the market to see how this year is shaping up to be different than last year. So let's take a look at new listings and solds. The blue line here represents new listings and the green bar represents closed sales. So when we compare the last couple months of new listings for March and April of 2024 to March and April of 2023, we actually see about a 13% increase in new listings for the past couple months. Now, the number of homes listed in April for 2024 is 655 units, which surpassed last year's high of 645 units. And the second point is the solds, which have steadily risen with the supply since the beginning of the year. April solds for April were also up about 14% from a year ago. So when we look at the overall inventory levels, we can say that most of the supply increase is actually coming from new listings coming on the market, since the demand has continued to increase as well. So this will explain what we're going to take a look at next when we look at the overall supply of homes increasing steadily from December of 2023 to now. This overall increase is due to the fact that more new properties are coming on the market. And at this point in May, we're actually at 819 available homes, which puts us up 47% from last year. So if you're looking to buy, there's really about 47% more options than last year, which most would agree this is a good thing. Now, it is worth mentioning that a 47% increase still does not put us in an oversupply mode. And to help put this in perspective, let's take a look at the supply of inventory based on closed sales. Now, the classic definition of a seller's market is 3 months or less of inventory. So you can clearly see that we are still in a seller's market with just 1.4 months of inventory for the month of April. The other takeaway is that the last April of 2023, we were at 1.2 months supply versus 1.4 months supply of April of this year. Secondly, you can see that last year we had a pretty steep decline in the months of inventory, largely due to the lack of new inventory coming on the market from last year. However, this year, since the beginning of the year, we see a much more modest decline in the months of inventory based on closed sales. Now, the way to interpret this is that we are seeing a steady increase in activity since the beginning of this year versus supply, which continue to put upward pressure on pricing. So what will be interesting to see is if we can continue to see an increase in inventory and demand in the coming months, which typically peaks out sometime in June or July. In the meantime, with rates holding steady, sellers will still continue to have strong buyer demand and price appreciation, while there will likely be more properties to compete with than last year. And buyers at the same time can enjoy more options to choose from, but you still will have to compete with other buyers, especially those properties that are closer to the median sold price of $870,000 range. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, give it a like. Thanks.